All right, we're back. Part 2 of 12.2. All right, so let's go ahead and let's walk through a histogram. Again, these are not that difficult. Once you see what's involved in the fact that you as the researcher have a lot of flexibility, it's really hard to say, oh, you did that wrong. Yeah, there's things you could do better, but you just have to be consistent on a few things. Okay, so once you already have a frequency distribution, which we already been doing some, we've been doing frequency distributions. Now the idea is to kind of construct a picture around that. Okay, so here's the idea. Okay, so we have a different data set than one we've done before. So we have number of children in a family. Oh my, look at that, 9. Whew. Okay, and how many families have that many children? So I don't know how they did this. Maybe they had a walk-around person, like kind of surveying like that, right? Hey, can you answer a few questions for me? Maybe at the mall or something. So you had eight families that had no children, 11 families that had 1 children. So that we already have the frequencies here, right? We just want to put a picture to this. All right, so here's the idea. Remember, the frequency is the count. That is always the vertical scale. I say always. It's pretty common to have that be the vertical scale. Okay? So here's just some ideas. Notice that the vertical scale is going to go from 0 to 20. Why was that? Well, because you have numbers ranging from 1, right? Numbers ranging from 1 to 18. So your vertical scale, 0 to 20, will capture all that. Horizontal scale is your observation, and that goes from 0 to 9. You don't need to have anything, you don't need to have 10 or 11 because you don't have any values there. All right, you don't have anybody that had 11 children. Okay? Okay, I mean that's kind of the idea. So here we go. And there you go. So notice that each bar, now the width of the bar has to be the same. And again, if you're in Excel, it doesn't mean anything, but it just has to be the same. It has to be uniform. Okay? And Excel will do that. And you can actually change it. Sometimes you'll see information kind of written inside of here. Okay? There's all sorts of things you can do. Now, one thing that's a little hard, and you might not like, is the fact it's sometimes hard to eyeball exactly what number that is. Okay? Now, if you remember, this is supposed to be 18. And sometimes the graphs will have some grids on it to help you get an idea of what the numbers actually are. They might be hard to see. But this is a histogram. Notice that the 0 didn't have to start over here. Okay? But the y-axis does start at the y-axis, the vertical axis does start at 0. The bars have to be touching each other. And it's actually good to get it off the y-axis to kind of move it away so you can see them a little bit better. Okay, that's it. That's it. This last one, at the end, I'll let you know where you see them quite a lot. Maybe you'll be able to kind of pick it up. It's like, oh, I've seen these before. But a frequency polygon, Polygon's a weird name for it because polygon has it's a geometry thing, right? Number of sides, or a closed figure that is made up of line segments. So basically, once you have a histogram, very, very easy to create a frequency polygon. All right. Basically, all you're going to do is you're going to add a dot to the center of each bar, and you're going to also add these are added. They're not real data, but you need to add a starting and an ending point to kind of bring it down to the x-axis. Okay, I'll kind of show you this. So here you go. So all you do is you add these dots, right? And then what you would do is you would remove the histogram. Now these are the dots that were added. This one's added, and this one's added. Okay, just to bring it down to the x-axis so the dots aren't left hanging up there in the air. Okay. Now if you remove these bars, okay, does it look like maybe something you'd see on Wall Street, like a stock ticker, or something that's maybe tracking on a weather, like temperature for the day? Yeah, something like that. That's where you might see those. It's tracking maybe customer service data, okay, likes and dislikes, all kinds of things. But take away the bars and you have what's called a grouped frequency or a frequency polygon. Okay? All right. Last one. This is actually my favorite, the stem and leaf. The stem and leaf. Each data value or number gets separated into two parts. Okay? For a two-digit number such as 53, the tens digit is the stem, and the ones digit is called the leaf. Okay? So for the number 72, the stem is 7 and the leaf is 2. For the number 8, the stem is 0 and the leaf is 8. So the ones digit is always the leaf. If I have a three-digit number like 138, okay, 13 is the stem, like 130, like the 130 group, 131, 132, 137, 138. So 13 represents the 130 stem or the 130 group, and the 8 would be the leaf. The last digit's always the leaf. Just remember that. Okay? Okay. So here we go. What do we got? The data shows the number of games won by the Chicago Cubs in each of the 21 seasons from 1988 to 2008, with the exception of 1994, which was a strike season. Draw stem and leaf. Okay, so they're all two-digit numbers. That's actually pretty easy. Okay, so notice that the lowest number is in the 60s, okay, and the highest number is in the 90s. So we need stems that begin with 6, 7, 8, and 9. Okay? All right. Yeah, if you ever have single-digit numbers, they have a stem of 0. All right. And here we go. So again, you would start like calling out the data. You'd say, okay, I got a 97. Okay, so you got a 97. Oh, I was going to erase them one by one. Can I do that? No. Well, that's no fun. I was going to do them one by one. Okay, so see, this is where your data is. See, 97. That's 97 right there. So what I love about the stem and leaf is you don't lose the actual data items. They don't get lost in the groups because you can actually build them back up. Notice there's, we didn't even get to the 60s. Well, the 60s, maybe there. Ah, there they are. Okay, so 66 is right here. 66, 67, 65, 67, 68. You definitely do your, if a data item is repeated, you definitely repeat it because that's a frequency. That shows you how many. They don't have to go in order. You can have an ordered stem and leaf. It looks nicer, but it doesn't have to be. I still have my data. That's what I like about these is I can create the data. 79, 76, 73, 78, 77, and 77 shows up 3 times. So it has to be 3 times in the stem and leaf. Okay? It's kind of important to try to line them up when you're doing it by hand because what you're looking for is the one that has the most. And if everything's all out of whack, then nothing's going to be apparent. So line up your leaves vertically, and then you can see that the one that sticks out the farthest is your largest group. Okay? That's the stem and leaf. And we're done. This is actually a really easy week. You're just drawing pictures and getting things organized and displaying data. So not too bad at all. And I do hope you have a great week. Okay? Stay well, stay healthy, and I'll talk to you again soon.